Okay, so today we're going to be making a crab salad.
I fuck the music, I make it curl. I fuck the music with my serpent curl. Hit.
With some beautiful cock crabs. That's not funny at all. Some puntarelle, some vinaigrette, and some winter tomatoes. Are we going to show killing it, or maybe just like bleep? First thing we need to do before we cook the crabs is kill them. And we do that by just getting a sharp knife and going straight into the brain, which is just here. So the important thing when you cook crabs, you need to have your water at a rolling boil. You need to have your ice water ready, so that as soon as they're finished cooking, they can go straight into the ice water and stop the cooking process. These crabs weigh about 800 grams, and we cook crabs for 1 minute per 100 grams. So we're going to set a 8-minute timer for these. Chef. While the crabs are cooking, we can start prepping our vegetables for the salad. We're going to start with the puntarelle. First thing to do is strip back all these outer leaves. They're just better for braising, because we want the nice tubes in the middle that we're going to use for our salad. And now we're going to take the tubes away from the core. Now with the puntarelle, at the end here, it's going to be a bit woodier and tougher to eat. So we want the top part, which is nice and soft. So we'll just feel with our knife where it gets soft, and we'll just cut that bit off there. So this is the puntarelle cutter. It's just like a crisscross of metal. And then when we poke this through, we're going to get really nice, thin, even strips. Okay, so that's all the puntarelle prepped. We'll just set that to the side, so we're going to assemble the salad. Now that the timer's up on our crabs, we're going to take them out and get them straight into ice water. So white asparagus is another ingredient that's just coming into season now in early spring. And we use the main stems of the white asparagus on a dish, but the stalks, the woody part, which aren't that great to eat, we actually use in the dressing for this dish. So we take the woody stalks like this, we put them through a juicer, and we take that juice and we make a white asparagus vinaigrette. So now the crabs are cooked, we just need to pick all the meat from the legs, the body, the claws, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. Right, so the first step is we're going to take off the claws, and just in a twisting motion they should just pop straight off. Put them to one side. Trying to get as close to the actual joint as possible. Take all the legs off. Right, the next step is taking the body away from this outer shell, and that's going to give us all the brown crab that's inside the main body. I'm going to take these bits off. And then just with my two thumbs, I'm just going to break the body away here. And then you can just peel away the body from the shell. Okay, then from the body, we have here, these are all the dead man's fingers. We don't want to eat them, so we just take them all off and discard them. So these are the gills, it's basically how it breathes. But you don't want to eat them, that'll make you very ill. Okay. Now, all this delicious meat inside, we want to make sure we keep, and we're going to make a nice brown crab emulsion, and that's going to sit underneath everything else. So we're just going to scoop all that out just with a spoon. So now we're ready to start picking all the white meat out. We've got the brown meat here that we separated from the bodies. We've got the shells. So we're going to start with the claws and then move on to the legs, and then we'll finish with the bodies. As I'm picking out the white meat, as it's very small, we don't want it getting hot at all, because that's going to speed up the process of it going off. So I'm going to pick it into a tray that's on top of another tray that has ice in, and that's going to keep it really cold. Okay, so there are two joints with the claw, and we're just going to take them both off. First one snaps off quite easy, and you're going to be able to get some meat that's around the cartilage here. So we're going to pick that off just with our hands, and then we have like a crab pick here that's just going to be able to scoop inside the shell and get all the other meat out. Leave it nice and hollow inside. Now for this next joint, it's a bit firmer to break off with your hand. If you're strong enough, you might be able to. But I'm just going to tap it with the back of the knife here, and that's going to crack it off. Okay, there's lots of these small bits of cartilage inside the crab. We are going to pick it 2 times after we've got all the meat out. So if you see any, obviously take it out, but we don't need to be too worried at this point about small bits of cartilage. Okay, now for this top part of the claw, this movable pincer, we're just going to take that one off and try and get the cartilage with it. And then again, this we're just going to try and crack. We're trying to do it in as few blows as possible, and that way we're going to minimize the amount of shell that's in our white crab. So one tap there, and a tap there, and then we can just try and peel away. White crab is claw meat, yeah. Okay, and there we have some of the shell. Move that to the one side, and this is the main claw. Inside this, if I didn't get it out with peeling the pincer off, there's going to be another bit of cartilage. So we can just lightly push that meat away and reveal that bit of cartilage that's in the middle. After each claw, it's a good idea to wipe your board down, get rid of any shell that's left there, and it's going to make our lives easier when we come to pick it the second time. Now, the reason that we buy in the whole crabs is it's much more economical for us. We can use the shells now to make a bisque, and we use that with our Gurnard main course. We've got all the claw meat, we've got the brown crab. There's so many different things you can do with it, rather than just buying the white meat, or you can go to the supermarket to get white meat or brown meat. Much better to get the whole crab in, gives you so many more options, and a lot more beneficial on the bank. Right, so that's all the claws done. You can see how that's quite a lot of meat. That is where the main amount of meat comes from. But it'd be a terrible shame to not pick these as well, because you're still going to get a decent amount from them, and we can't let that go to waste. So next up, the smaller legs. Now, this again has one main joint here. I'm just going to peel that back and try and slide the cartilage out, these two bits here, and that means inside here is just pure meat. This bit we're going to set aside for our stocks. Now, there's a few ways to do this. The way I like to do, without smashing it, because it's quite small, is just chop one end off. Make a small chop, and then you can see the meat inside, and then we're just going to pick that out. Yeah, you can do this with a metal spike or a skewer, but a crab pit makes it nice and easy. So that's the bad amount of meat that comes from one of these. Wow! Barely have to even press it, and this form cookware knife goes straight through these hard crab shells. Buy yours today.
Get it while they sell it.
Okay. Now onto the bodies. So there are a few ways you can do this. Some people like to snap it in half, but I find that's a bit messy. So we're just going to take out each of the knuckles where the legs were attached, and then we're going to, with our pick inside, pick all the middles, and we should be able to see straight through it. It should be hollow the whole way through. But we'll see. Okay, so that's all the knuckles out. Get rid of any bits that are just hanging off. Okay, now these knuckles, they might have a bit of meat still attached, so we'll just give it a little flick if there is. Yes, please. Yes, please, Georgia. Right, so now with the body, we're just going to go in each of the hole and just scrape away, you can hear when you break some cartilage, so you want as little sound as possible when you're taking the meat out, and that's going to minimize the cartilage that's actually you've got to pick through after. And I think this is the tastiest meat that's on the whole crab, is the meat just in here, in the body. Still white, but this is the tastiest meat. It's like the fattiest, really delicious. Really, really delicious. I mean, fantastic. From this knuckle here, where I've cleared it out, you can now just pass this straight the whole way through. There's no meat, nothing's broken, and that means I've got all the meat out of that one. And we just continue that the whole way around until we've got all the meat out. Okay, right, so we've got all our shells, and we've got our white crab meat here. So now we're just gonna hot soapy the whole bench, clean everything down. Obviously, shellfish is a big allergy, so you don't want any cross-contamination anywhere. And then we're gonna roast the shells off for our crab stock, and then we're going to start getting the salad ready. Fantastic. And the whole thing is sponsored by Form Cookware. Okay, so we've got our shells here. We're just going to put some butter on that. Some tomato paste. Coriander seeds. And fennel seeds. Touch of oil. And now that's ready to roast off, 190 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then we'll make our stock. Now with all the white crab that we've picked, we're going to push it all to one side, still on top of the ice, keeping it nice and cold. And then very slowly, we're going to take bit by bit and press it with our fingers, feeling for anything hard, which is going to be the cartilage or the shell, and then we're just going to discard that. You have to do small bits at a time. This takes the longest time. You have to really take your time with it. When you think it's clean, you just put it to the end. and then work on the next bit. And then I've just found a piece of cartilage here. I wouldn't dream of biting on that. And there's a very small piece of shell. You'll be able to feel it quite easily, because obviously it feels very different to the really soft crab. Okay, so just from one go through, we've got this much cartilage out. We're gonna do that 2 more times to absolutely make sure there's nothing in there. From those 3 crabs, we've got a nice 9 pan of white crab, and we've got a brown crab here. So now we're ready to start assembling the dish. The next step is to make the brown crab emulsion. So we're gonna need a Vitamix for this. We're gonna start by putting all of the brown crab in. And then we're gonna blitz that up and start emulsifying it with some neutral oil and some lemon juice. Okay, so here we've got the brown crab. And now we just need to season it. We're gonna season it with lemon juice and salt and pepper. Okay, we're also gonna pass the brown crab through a chinois just to make sure there's no bits of cartilage in there. Should be nice and thick. Okay, so the brown crab's gonna get black pepper. Camera magic. A good pinch of salt. And some lemon juice. Delicious. Tiny bit more lemon. I don't like that bit. No, I don't like that bit at all. Okay, it's really. Okay, just needs to be a little bit sharper. Perfect. Okay, and now that's the brown crab done. Put that to one side.
A present for you. From Italy.
It's on the video.
Oh.
I was gonna wait for you to give it to me, but I was like, it'd look cooler on the video. It works so well. Look at it.
Let's have a look. Uniform, as I said.
Oh, what? Look at that.
Yeah, fucking come on.
So the next step is going to be blanching the agretti or monk's beard. Yeah.
Look like a little Italian nonna.
It's beautifully in season this time of year, grown in sort of like coastal areas, in on sandy shores. It's got a nice firm texture, nice and crunchy. So we're just going to give it a really quick blanch. We're going to give it a really quick blanch. So we've got the same setup. We've got our boiling water that's been seasoned, and we've got our ice water here. So as soon as it's finished cooking in there, goes straight into the ice water, stops the cooking. So we're just going to open this up, and you'll be able to see how dirty it is towards the bottom. So we don't want any of this part here. We just want these nice green bits that are on top. This is only going to take about 30 seconds in the boiling water. Give me a little boo thing. Straight out into the ice water. So we've got our puntarelle here. This has got nice and curly now. The last step is just going to be warming up the crab. So we're going to have a nice crisp salad on the top that's going to be cold, and then we're going to have the cold brown crab and then the slightly warmed buttered white crab just on top of the tomatoes. So we're going to melt some butter now. So we've melted the butter. Take our white crab from earlier. 2 nice spoons of that. In there we're going to go pickled shallots. Just really finely diced shallots with Chardonnay vinegar, a little bit of sugar and water. Some black pepper. And some Maldon sea salt. And that won't go back on the heat now. That will just slowly warm through just from the heat of the pan. And that'll be ready to go. So the first thing going on the plate is going to be the brown crab. Next we're going to go with these beautiful winter tomatoes. Season them. Then we're going to go our white crab. And now to make our salad. This beautiful puntarelle that's curled up lovely now. Small handful of that. Some halved hazelnuts. And then the white asparagus vinaigrette that we made from juicing the rooty ends of the asparagus stalks, mixing that with olive oil, lemon juice. Pinch of salt. That is going to sit on top of the crab. Second to last, I'm going to get some of this lovely vinaigrette and just drape that over the top. And then as a final touch, we have some bataga here, which is cured mullet roe, and it just gives that umami pop, and we're just going to grate that on top. Final bit of olive oil, one more bit of black pepper, and that's it. That is our white crab and puntarelle salad with brown crab emulsion on the bottom, a white asparagus vinaigrette, and some winter tomatoes.
Oh, how lovely. Wow.
Very nice day. Can I eat? Yeah? Feel it's going, mate. Ready for the sloppiest mouthful. Oh.
Oh my god. Gorgeous. So good.
You get all the richness, the butteriness of the crab. You get the zinginess of that salad on top, and that like umami punch from the tomatoes and from the bataga. It's a really complete dish. Sponsored by Form Cookware.